118 at CJOB. You've heard the commercials here on CJOB. We've actually talked to Colleen Munro before, but I wanted to bring her back and talk to her now that kids are going back to school. Colleen is the president of the Munro Group, RockGlass, Unbreakable Windows. Colleen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hal. How are you doing today?
Excellent. Thanks a lot for coming back on. So explain, we've all heard the commercials. We've talked to you before, but just explain RockGlass, Unbreakable Windows. Just give us the rundown here because there is a separation there.
Right. Well, you know what? I think that when I was on the last time, Hal, we were mentioning that we are a security solution for glass windows and doors. But what we wanted to mention, too, is it's actually an ideal product for sneeze guards. And when I hear all the fear and the panic right now that is with schools and with parents sending their kids back to school, I think we have a solution. The RockGlass, especially with flu season, with the health barriers, the sneeze guards, just wanted to make sure that people knew that this was another application that can be used, that RockGlass can be used for.
I was talking to a sign guy that I know the other day, and he says, I only use RockGlass because it's just, well, as the name would imply, it's just stronger.
It is stronger. It's about 200 times stronger than regular glass, and it's also half the weight of regular glass. So it's much easier to, be able to install and move around. And that's one great thing about for the classrooms is we've designed a snap-in barrier setup that it can ship flat, and it can actually just be used to be remodeling or rearranging, because I'm sure when kids are getting back to school these days, they're trying to implement where should they put some barriers. And I think what separates our product is that we are abrasion resistant, and as kids put their fingers on it and they hit it and they actually have pens on it and all the rest of it, when you have other products, they scratch very easily and they get cloudy and they can discolor. This one does not. It's clear. And I think actually we had installed one at the CJOB studios, Hal. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yep.
I think you're likely working at home. But it looks pretty clear.
But I've seen it,
right?
yeah.
You wouldn't think that it's not glass. So there's a lot of different properties that I think, again, it can be a solution for kids now when parents are so scared about their kids. I mean, let's face it, coughing and sneezing with kids in school is pretty common.
Did you ever imagine that your product would be used so much in this way?
Well, you know what? It's like I mentioned before, it was sort of the perfect storm. We had really developed it because we knew that there was a lot of break-ins with the drug crisis that, is within Canada and North America. And we just felt that, that was sort of where our product was going to be. I mean, whoever thought that COVID would have the need for health barriers, or we would have all the, riots within the US of A, right? So it's kind of created the perfect storm for us. But I think where our biggest, right now is to be able to keep people safe. And whether that be your families or your businesses, if we do have to all shut down again with the second wave if it comes, or to keep your kids safe at school.
You mentioned that you have a product that works really well in schools. Have you had a lot of demand from schools? Have you heard a lot from schools asking about your product and purchasing it?
We have. We've had quite a bit of calls just searching out, because I think a lot of people they're not used to what product they need for this type of application either. So we have been quite busy with the calls and getting our information out. And again, I appreciate you having us back on today to let people and parents know that maybe they can suggest this to their schools, that this is another avenue instead of using the regular, what they might be using right now, and it not holding up.
Yeah, and I mean, there's many scenarios, and people listening right now will have their own situation where they're probably right now saying, hey, RockGlass would work for this. I've also seen it used in restaurants. And I'll tell you what, I think this is really smart of some people out there that own restaurants. They're going the extra mile. They're spending the small amount more money for a product like yours. They're framing it in properly. They're not doing it, thinking it's a short-term solution to a problem. They're thinking long-term. And why not think like that? Because we don't know what's going to happen with this virus or future viruses, right?
We don't. And I think, as all of us businesses, we have to sort of set something that we know it might be around now. You either have to make your investment or you might not be around. Everybody's trying to make sure in the restaurants they can get the maximum safety for the people, the maximum safety. And, I believe that this product, like I said, at least you can be able to remodel it if you need to change it. If you have bigger parties, it can be, designed certain ways. So I really do think that those that are investing in these type of products are going to be able, to last within how long ever that the COVID goes.
And again, RockGlass, and you surprised me with this last time I had you on, this is a local product. So you're buying local when you buy RockGlass.
It was actually the R&D was designed here, actually in Winnipeg. We've been on it. My partner has been on it for about 5 years developing this type of product. So we're pretty proud that it has been developed here in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm. What is the additional cost? I think that's important to get it out there. But again, I've told you before, and I think the extra cost is well worth it because, as you point out, it's 200 times stronger than glass, for example. Just talk a little bit about pricing here.
And again, it depends on what it is. If it's one of your commercial front doors, because we don't have any waste, we can pretty well compete with the regular glass. Some applications, it could be about 50% higher. But as you just said, Hal, if people are breaking into your windows or, there's problems, you can't keep on claiming it on your insurance. And is it really, more expensive? I'd say I would also argue that it's really cheaper in the long run if you use the RockGlass product.
Yeah, well said. Hey, Colleen, I'm out of time. I think it's a great product, and boy, it's at a really important time right now. And I wanted to have you on as the kids head back to school, and basically, I guess you just want to hear from people because whatever their situation is, you can probably deal with it with RockGlass.
We can certainly be the solution and help. And again, thank you for having me on a second time, Hal. I really appreciate it.
No, happy to do it. Colleen, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good one.